Good morning, Year 5. Welcome to your Wednesday maths lesson. You record today's date and learning objective, building on yesterday's learning to add mixed numbers. Then record your flashback 4, your time, pause the video while you do that. Let's see how you did. Can you mark your answers, please, in blue pen? Pause the video while you do so. And let's move into today's learning. So yesterday we looked at adding mixed numbers as a task. Today we're going to be doing it using our worksheet. Let's begin. Let's begin with our tasks, with our get ready tasks. Now what I'd like you to do is match each of the numbers up here to the descriptions below. Each number can be matched with more than one description. Please pause the video while you have a go. Let's see how you did. So, 1/3 can be recorded as a unit fraction because it has 1 as a numerator. It can also be said it is a proper fraction because it's less than a whole one and therefore it's less than 1. What about 9/2? You should have noticed that that is an improper fraction because the numerator is greater than the denominator, and therefore it is a non-unit fraction because the numerator is not 1, and it is greater than 1/2 one because the numerator is greater than the denominator. Let's have a look at the next one, 2 8/3. What do you notice about it? Well, you should have noticed it's greater than 1, but you should also have noticed that when it is a mixed number, you cannot have the fraction part being greater than 1/2 one. This cannot be greater than 1/2, so it is incorrectly written. What should that be? Well, 8/3 would be the same as 2/2 ones and 2/3. So it's another 2/2 ones onto there, which is 4/2 ones and 2/3. Moving along then to 4/7. 4/7 is less than 1/2 one because 7/7 would be a whole one. It is a proper fraction because it's less than a whole one. And it is a non-unit fraction because the numerator is not 1. Lastly, 7 2/5. You should have spotted is greater than 1/2 one. And it is a mixed number. It is made up of whole ones and leftover fractions. Let's put all that into our learning today. Here we have 2 1/5, add 3 whole ones and 3/5. Here she says, I'm going to convert both mixed numbers into improper fractions first. This is a great method. It does work. Well, let's draw it out. There's 2 1/5. And you can see there we've got 5, 10 and 1 more, which is 11/5. Then I've got 3 3/5 over here, 3 whole ones and 3/5. You can see I've got 3 lots of 5/5, so that's 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18. So that's 18/5. Then I've got 11/5, add 18/5, which is 29/5. But I need to change that back into a mixed number. So how many 5s go into 29? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. It fits in 5 whole times, and then there's 4/5 left to get up to 29. Let's have a look at another way of doing it then, because here Mo says he's going to add up his whole numbers first and then do the fractions separately. You might find this method works better for you. So there are the 2 fractions again, and the whole ones. And we're going to switch it so that all the whole ones go to one side. So there's 2 whole ones and 3 whole ones, which makes 5 whole ones. And then we've got the 3/5 and 1 more 5th, which makes 4/5. So therefore, we've got 5 whole ones and 4/5. Exactly the same answer. Here we've got both methods side by side. Which one do you prefer and why? Which one works best for you? Why? going to have a think about those methods now. Here we can see we've got 3 1/4, add 4 5/12. Well, we can see we've got two whole numbers here, 3 and 4, which makes 7. So there's our 7 whole ones. And here we've got 1/4 and 5/12. So here we've got our whole ones. We've parked them over to one side. So we can really deal with the fraction side much easier. 1/4 add 5/12. We need to make it so they have the same denominator. So we need to change this into 12ths. And we do it by splitting them down into 3. So I've made it 3 times as many pieces. 3 times as many pieces is 3/12. So I've got 3/12 add 5/12, which is 8/12. So the answer is 7 whole ones and 8/12. Well done if you spotted that. Your turn, please, to have a go at questions 1 to 4 on the worksheet. I'd like you to record it in your book like this. So you can cut out number 1, but neatly record it here. Then do number 2 and record it as shown, with each of the whole ones taking up 2 squares in height. Continue till you get to the end of question 4 and then come back to me. Let's continue from here. Let's have a look at this. We can see there is a rectangle and one side is 2 1/15 of a metre. This rectangle, each longer side is 1 4/5 of a metre longer than the short side. And eventually I'd like to know what the perimeter of the rectangle is. Do you remember that perimeter means adding up all the way around the outside? There are quite a few steps we need to do to be able to answer this question. Pause the video and have a think. Let's see if you worked it out the same way. So, in a rectangle, we know opposite sides are equal, so we can record that onto there. This side, the longer side, is 1 4/5 longer than this, so I need to do my 2 1/15, and I need to add on 1 4/5 to find out the length. So I need to change this 4/5 into 15ths by multiplying each part by 3, which is 12/15. Now 2 add 1 is 3 whole ones, and 1/15 add 12/15 is 3/15. If this side is 3 13/15, then this side is 3 13/15. Now I know all the sides, I can work out the perimeter by adding up this, add this, add this, add this. And we record it in a number sentence like this. First of all, you can see I've got the answer of 10 whole ones. I did that by doing 2 add 2 is 4, 3 add 3 is 6, 6 add the 4 is 10 whole ones. Then I can see I've got 1/15 add 1/15, add 13/15 add 13/15, which is 28/15 altogether. But remember back to what we did at the beginning of the lesson. We cannot have in a mixed number a fraction where the denominator is less than the numerator. 15/15 would be another whole one. So that will make 11 whole ones and 13/15 left. You might have spotted that 13 add 1 makes 15/15 to make that extra whole one, and there you can see the extra 13/15 left over. And don't forget that it's meters, because it's a problem we're solving. Have a go at questions 5 to 6 on your worksheet. And here is how I'd like you to record that, please. Like this. Cut and stick and record your answer. You might want to pause the video and use this to help you work out your answers. Let's go back and see how we can get on from there. Let's have a look at this. We've quite a few missing boxes, but you can notice that these are quarters, and therefore in the answer it must be quarters. So now we know the answer is 7 whole ones and 3/4. How many whole ones would make it up to 7 whole ones? And how many quarters could I have to make it to 3 quarters? Well, I could have 1 quarter add 2 quarters to make 3 quarters, or I could switch those and make that 2 quarters and that 1 quarter. That also works. That leaves me with my 7 whole ones. There are so many ways to make 7 whole ones with the leftover whole ones. I could do 6 add 1. I could do 5 add 2. I could do 3 add 4, and so on with the switches. I wonder how many different ways you found of doing that same question. Let's have a look at this one. Pause the video and have a think of how you might tackle this one. Let's have a look at it together. Now you can see here we're working in 6, but this one is not 6, but the others are. Now from this one I'm going to work backwards from the answer. The answer is 6 whole ones. How many sixths will there be in 6 whole ones? Well, in 1 whole one there'll be 6 sixths. So in 6 whole ones there'll be 6 times as many as that, which is 36 sixths. Now, to get 6 whole ones, you might be thinking 3 whole ones, add 3 whole ones. But that would be a mistake, because don't forget we've got this leftover fraction, add this leftover fraction, making more. And if I did that, I'd end up with more than 6 whole ones. So let's switch this down one and make it into 2 whole ones. Therefore making 3 add 2 is 5 whole ones, and we want this part and this part to make 1 whole one left. So therefore, this part, 6, add this part in thirds, have to make that extra 1 whole one, because 5 add 1 makes 6. Let's have a think how to do this. Well, we need to change this so it becomes 6, don't we? So if I made that into 1/3, let's just change it. That would be 2 sixths. If I want to have 1 whole one, how many other 6 would I add to 2 sixths to make a whole one? I would add 4 sixths. Therefore, that one would be 4 sixths, and that would be 1/3. That is one possible answer. I'd like you to pause now and have a go at questions 7 and 8 on your worksheet now. And I'd like you to lay it out by putting it in your book like this, or directly copying it into your book to help you to do those questions. For those in red group, here are your challenges for today. I've shown you how to record for the first one, but the last one is very similar to what we've just been working on. Remember, you can always pause, go back and re-watch any part of the video and retry it practically yourself before you record into your book. Good luck and see you next time.